This is Tomas Fiala from Brutal Assault, and you are watching Stormbringer, the Austrian heavy scene.
You are the inventor, basically, of the Brutal Assault Festival, right?
The thing is that I came in after on the 10th edition, and me and my partner, we started doing the festival together since then, which was 2005.
Okay, and who did the festival before that?
It was Vladan. It was the local promoter, and he really he established it. And it used to be a small event from like few hundreds people until like maybe 2,000 or something like that. And then basically he didn't have so much energy to continue on working with the festival, and basically he wanted to give it up, and we came in and said, let's try to do it. Let's try to continue on.
So you basically took it out of his hands and
Yes.
started over.
Yeah, and we started it on our own way because Brutal Assault's got a good potential. It was a good idea, but some small drops were missing.
Yeah. So you started from scratch, and did you take anything from him? Of the concept or anything, or is it just you started over?
I mean, no. Basically, no means yes. Like basically, the entire concept is still the same. It used to be a variety of heavy music, and that's what we still try to be based on. But nowadays, we just get more into the foreign bands because just we have the opportunity and we have the chance to catch them. So basically the idea is still the same, but the artists are different.
So you mentioned you got bigger, of course. You're not the biggest festival, you're not the smallest festival, you're somewhere in the middle, upper middle of that. Did it grow over the years that you reach a limit or something, or was it that big from the beginning?
I mean, it got its gaps, like that. For example, 2008 was really full, then 2009 it was maybe 2/3 of the crowd, and we just started working with that. And but the basic thing is that the festival areas got a restriction. It's not an open field. It's not as big, so like basically we try to get more focused on good bands and do it our own way, and maybe try to be sold out and just offer to our fans what we think they want, and then what also we try to invent.
So it was always happening in the Josefov Fortress?
No, it's since 2007. Okay. Until then there were 2 years in Svojšice. First was like 2,000 people, then it was 7,000 people in 2006. And then we had to move on because the current festival area was not sufficient.
Yeah, but now you are in the Josefov Fortress, and of course there are limits. You said it's limited to 16,000 people, and is it good for you? Is it good that you don't have to expand more than that?
It can go both ways. You don't need to expand even though you are not limited, but it's a challenging mission, but it can give us a freedom just to do a festival which we really want to do, and just bring another additional values for people just to enjoy it as much as they can.
So it's more quality than quantity.
Yeah. And in that fact, like basically we are happy with that, and we just guess that somehow Brutal Assault and Josefov are like a mother and child, and it should not be separated, and it's not worth it to try to do it for a bigger crowd, because we would lose the spirit which we are aiming for, which we really want to. I cannot imagine it right now.
It's not working anywhere else, right?
Not as far as my imagination goes currently.
Yeah. Have you ever been in Wacken, for example, or?
Yes.
What do you think if you see these really big festivals, like which is like 5 times as big as the Brutal Assault?
Well, it really depends what do you want. basically. Wacken is really professional. You have a good sound. You can get a beer and so on, but there is not so much enjoyment, I guess, or as you can do in the fortress, basically, because this is just a big green field.
You get lost, right?
You get lost, and it's just one way of fun. But we are able just to expand in the fortress, just to give people special rooms, special enjoyments, like in a good. In the fortress, in the rooms of the fortress, and
you have to work with the circumstances you have.
Yeah, definitely.
You're talking about improvements within the festival. What are the newest improvements you did this year? Like some relaxing areas that are new or something?
Yeah. What we try to do and what we did over the past years, that we invented a group of people who are trying to repair small parts of the fortress, which we then later on which can be later on used for the festival. And that is happening already like for a 30 year. And this year we've got a special area which was called Bastion 10, and there was the museum of fanzines, and we basically wanted to introduce the way of communication and the level of excitement which was brought in at the end of the 80s and the beginning 90s, and I guess it's really fascinating. There are really fascinating moments, and it was really like if somebody was into that, it was a hardcore fan, and he would do everything for that. And I guess the music is losing a little bit of that, so it can be interesting just to try to introduce it. So that was the basic idea. It worked out pretty well, but unfortunately I figured out that most of the people who were attending the exhibit were those people who remembered the times. So the young people
the nostalgia.
do not. That's the nostalgia, which is great.
Yeah.
And but my purpose was trying to get people in that
the new people
just to realize that music has not been as easy thing back then, and it was worth a lot more. But that concept did not work this year.
But where other festivals are trying to make amusement parks and stuff like that, you're making museums, and that speaks a lot, says a lot about the festival.
We try to be the subculture festival in a way. Just it's based about metal, and we have on every festival you have a music fans, obviously, because it's a music festival. But our fans are really deep in the music, so they are interested in the things, and that is our advantage, that we know what we can introduce them and entertain them.
Now I've heard from everybody who was there, from America, from India. Everybody was speaking in the highest tones of the festival. To never seen the festival better organized than that. And I heard some people from other festivals still just sneaking in to see what you people are doing different. Did you have the impression people coming around to just spy a little bit?
Not really. I'm not sure if we are so far. We just do what we want to do and try to do it the best way we can. And it's great. It's working. But we have a lot of limits, and I don't think we are maybe on a halfway or something like that. So, and that's our main engine, and we don't look so much around like in that case, because it's great that we have the vision and we know what we want to maintain.
So the enthusiasm is still there, right?
Yeah. That's. I mean, definitely we cannot be losing money on that, because if you are losing money constantly, that you cannot run a business. But in general, there is still the thing that we really love to try to do it the different ways and then try to find new solutions, and maybe old ones, whatever. But just try to make it interesting and the best for the people and for us.
Now, besides that, you're running an agency in Prague that does roughly 200 gigs a year, right?
Maybe 100.
100, yeah, still enough. It's just like a gig every 3 days, basically. How much amount of work is that for you? Are you always on the go? Are you always on locations, checking out bands or something like that? Are you doing this from home?
I have been like that, and I'm still on a lot of shows, but basically I'm not on all the shows right now. I really don't need to. We have a good team of people, And yes, I have a lot of bands which I really want to check, and I'm checking even on the shows we are putting on as an organizer, as a promoter.
So if any band wants to play in Prague, it will end up at your office.
It basically could, but also there is the issue that there's a lot of bands to be interested, and I didn't find the key how to select it, because I just don't have so much spare time listening to it, and some of the music needs to be listened like more deeply. Even on some of the others you can hear it for the first tone, but I just don't have so much time. So basically, I'm listening. I listen most of the bands we kind of put on or touch, or at least I know what's going on. And
what was the weirdest band, the weirdest story you had on the festival, or something, or the weirdest band, the weirdest story?
I mean, Mayhem are always fun. What else? There is a lot of bands, but nothing like so weird. Like, I mean, there are some egos sometimes, and
they're just weird in a positive way.
I would not say anything bad.
Yeah. Any band you don't want to have anymore there, without naming names?
I mean, there was one. Yeah, there is one band. There are a few bands like that, and that's the way it is.
You know who we are, hopefully. Now, we met in India half a year ago, coincidentally, and it's a land you appreciate very much for going to holiday and to relax. Is it a way for you to go there to calm down from the whole brutal assault and the concert business?
It is, but I don't have so much time anymore, but want to do it like more properly, like every year. But last time I was there with Cult of Fire, it was kind of a vacation, but helping them out a little bit, and then I spent there one more week, so it was pretty short, because India is worth for more time just to soak in the rhythm of the life and everything. So yeah, it's very interesting for me that it works a very different way and very natural way for the mankind. It's not so much, I would not. It's more naturally organized in a way, like so that's a big inspirational point for
more
me.
Instinct than like planned. Right?
Yeah. It's more the original background of mankind, what I would say. So that's very interesting.
And especially in the rural areas, right?
Yeah.
Some last words out to the young organizers, because there are so many little festivals coming out, and even in Czech Republic there are so many festivals like Obscene Extreme and stuff. And what are the recommendations from you as an old chap of the business to the young people who want to start a festival, a little one maybe?
Try to believe what you do. You have to know for what you work for, and if you do it well, then the recognition and everything is gonna come later. You just need to be prepared to suffer, and that's it, and then later on you can get better.
Did it help you, because you're not the typical metal person when you run around like this, you know? And did it help you to keep a little lower profile in the scene, that nobody just expects like a big lad with a black shirt and long hair and just a beard with, oh, that's the organizer?
Not really. I don't know. Like I used to be a normal metalhead, and then I did not have so much hair, so just I got a different haircut. But basically, I don't think so. I still feel like I'm a little bit alternative, but still a death metal head. So.
But you're still a little bit in the background as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so any last words on people that haven't been to the Brutal Assault Festival ever, just to describe them? What's happening there, just to maybe get them in there, coming there?
Basically, check out the lineup, because that's the most important thing for us, and then make sure that everything else is gonna be smooth and nice, and you will see that we try to do it more artistic way. So you have we try to put together music with visuals and try to make it more artistic as a whole. So that's our concept. And if somebody wants to see something like that in metal, so we try to deliver that. So come on.
Come around next year, 2019. Still, the planning is still on, and it's already on. And I say thank you to Tomas, and good luck with the festival and with whatever you plan for the future.
Thank you for the interview.